In this video, we are going to be discussing the marketing department. You can say that the decisions that you're making in the marketing department are very important because they impact the finance department. They also decide on whether you are going to get bankrupt or not. Whether, it depends on whether you are overestimating your sales or not. Sometimes, if you put a low sales forecast, then it means that you are being pessimistic and anticipating a year of sales that's lower than the actual sales that you are going to achieve, which will result in having a good inflow of cash, which is not always good if it's too much. So you don't want to be too very pessimistic in the marketing department, nor do you want to be too very optimistic, because that's going to mean that you're going to make losses, because you're saying that you're going to make so much money, then you depend on that, then you make investments matching that amount of money, and then the finance department, what's going to happen, it's going to tell you, oh my god, you made so much profit, you are so rich, don't worry about selling so much, you can spend as much as you want, you can do as many risks as you want. All that, if you put a big number in the sales forecast in the marketing department. That's why you want to be always pessimistic, as the doctor told you. Now, how do we proceed with sales forecast, which is the first step to do in this marketing department? I personally prefer to do it without any tools, just by estimating stuff. But here, I guess you guys need a formula, and let's calculate, for example, the sales forecast for round one from the rehearsal tutorial, not the Compix, but Fast Track. However, let's go to the marketing department here and open the reports. You're gonna make predictions for your low-tech product and your high-tech product, each one individually. I mean, here in this case you only have this one product, able, and then you need to calculate this here, and divide, just put that divided by the sum of all customer survey scores, which is all something that all of you can do. However, in a more complex scenarios, it's not going to be that easy. You're going to have to put that number. For example, to want to find the potential market share for cake, then you're going to have to put that number divided by the sum of these numbers. That's going to give you the potential market share for next year in high-tech segment. And then the potential market share, you're going to multiply it by this number multiplied by the growth rate. So the new number coming out of this, which is the high tech industry units in demand for next year, in order for you to get the potential market share using this naive forecasting method. Why do I call it naive? Because it's actually naive and doesn't take into consideration the changes that you apply to price and the changes that you apply to your product in terms of cutting the edge in half, you make it more appealing, and the changes that you apply, for example, if you don't have here, you have low awareness. So if you increase the awareness, yes, for sure, the sales forecast is going to increase. It ignores so many factors. However, we're going to start with it. It's going to be only the first step. Let's calculate, for example, the market share for this product, able. Here, this one for rehearsal tutorial. So it's going to be 20 over 20 plus 13. That is 33, I'm sorry. So it's going to be 12 equals 12 over. Again, these are Excel mechanics. You don't have to know them. You can just calculate that result. So 33, I said. What was it? The number again? Yeah, 33. Okay. Times 100%. You don't need to time 100. Okay, that means you are likely to get 36% market share next year. Okay. And then what you want to do is multiply it by, to get sales forecast in units, you're going to multiply this number by the growth rate here. Let's say capacity, this number, you see that for low tech. This is the potential market share for low tech for the product able, as we inferred here. You can see that this is low tech, and that's the potential market share. And then you want to multiply that. This is for round one, so you multiply that by the industry capacity, by the total industry units in demand for round one. So the forecast, naive forecast result, is gonna be, let's do this really quick. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, which will take this number times this number. Again, this only has to do with Excel mechanics. You don't really need to understand you don't need to understand how to do that. You can just do it over the calculator as long as you understand the logic behind it. So how realistic is that number? Well, it's not that realistic because it ignores that the fact that your product will be, if you leave it as it is, there is not going to be the same. The ideal spot changes. So here, so not that one, it's this one. Where is it? All right, so it sold, the age was better last year. I mean, it went from 3 to almost, no, I'm sorry, from 3.3 to almost 4. It's going to be less appealing due to the age factor. However, given the fact that you already revised your product in the R&D, if you remember from last video, okay, this age is going to be cut in half after a few months. So you go just to R&D. It means that this low-tech product became more appealing. And simply what you want to do to that number is apply factors one by one. So the first factor is the age for low-tech, which is very important. So you say, here are the factors, just list them. What other factors there are? Accessibility, marketing, promo budget, awareness, sorry. So if you increase the awareness, you sure know that the sales are going to increase. And if you increase the accessibility, MTBF, then new products in low tech, and then what other factors? Just list literally any factor that you can think of. Increase or decrease in price. Decrease. Maybe AR as well. AR, because they increase the demand. What else? Like literally just list down all the factors that you think are going to be changing the consumption. So let's just do something here really quick. All right, so here the age is going to be how much do you expect the market share to grow by the age? Here it was 36.2, 36.3.4 almost. So you expect, because the age was modified, this number from my my imagination, my logic, it's whatever, it's not something that's accurate, but I assume that if I modify the age, then the demand on my product will be increased by 2% or even 4%, okay, plus 4%. And then awareness, if I increase the awareness, it means more people are going to know about my product. So here in the case of this product, the awareness is very low for Able, so it's 52. It definitely has to be, sorry, not this, it's 86, so it has to be increased. I expect if I make it 100%, then the sales are going to increase by, let's say, 3%. Just be reasonable with your numbers. You don't have to get like accurate. Accessibility, if you increase the accessibility then by a little bit, you don't have to increase it, because this year we're going to be focusing on investing more on awareness, but maybe increase it a little bit, let's say either 2%. All right, and MTBF, yes, you changed it, was 18,000 here, and then you made it 2,000. Sorry, not, yes, it was 18,000, and then you made it 20,000. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. So that made it like more appealing by, let's say, 3%. And then if there are new products, you're gonna have to calculate to forecast their market share. Assume the worst case scenario. Let's say that they're gonna take a good pool of your market share. However, in this report, you don't see that any of the companies are launching a new product. How do you know that? From page 4, which involves production analysis, and likely it's not going to happen in Compex exam. Production analysis in page 4, you're not going to be introducing any new products, I think, maybe at all, but you can be introducing new products, which is good. So you don't have to worry about that in Compex. And then actually, you might decrease if you yourself introduce a new product by a little, a small portion, and then decrease in price. Well, here let's see if you are going to decrease the price or increase it. Let's leave that to the end, okay, about the price. We're not gonna change it, so it means that we expect to sell higher than this number, okay? And the fact that the age has been settled and awareness has been settled as well, so everything, let's say it's 5%, 7%, that's a 12% increase. Here you can put down increase in units in demand equals how much? 7 and 5, 12%. All right, so now this number, you might wanna just say 12% plus this number, which is 36.4%, which is the potential market share that you got from your naive sales forecasting, 0.4%. Then sum these two. As I said, you can do that in your notebook. You don't have to do in Excel or anything. Then sum these two. Where's the sum icon? Okay, that's it. So that's 48% of this number. So the new sales forecast is this 48% times this for low tech times this. Sorry, I did something stupid here. This should be this times that. So 48% of this number, which is like it says what this means is that you are selling, you have the potential of selling of covering half of the supply, half of the demand of low tech. So you can sell, literally your company and so on can sell half the low tech segment products. Let's go to the fast track here. It's not going to be the case, by the way, in the Compex, but here there are only 2 products. One of them, it has very low market share in low tech. So it means that you are going to be actually selling more than 50% because it's only 2 companies competing in low tech. So it means we were very pessimistic here. To be honest, this number can go up to 3,000. Can you produce 3,000 units though? That's the question. You can't because your capacity is limited. As you can see in the production schedule, you only can produce up to 1,800. And that's something you can't produce above that point. So it means that you need to invest in low tech capacity as well as introducing a new low tech product, which you already did in the R&D department. Another way that I do go about things in that case, like you can use that method, which is very reliable, and it depends on kind of your guesses here, like the change on age, the awareness, the accessibility. You can be optimistic, pessimistic. There's no such a thing as right or wrong answer. Just set reasonable assumptions. Don't go like, wow, dreaming. So here you can actually calculate the supply for the competition products, like just really quick without calculating anything in Cake. How much do you expect Baker to sell next year? Okay, it sold 1,600, and here we're gonna notice that Baker actually, okay, so they stocked out, so they sold, I expect them to sell like 1,700. Let's say they're gonna produce more and sell 1,700, and Cake they're gonna sell 300 because it's actually a high-tech product. And you're gonna notice here in this that low-tech products were not really matched. and they didn't stick out because likely the awareness for Cake was not good in Logic. Let's see if Cake has good awareness of Logic. No, it doesn't. So that's why. Otherwise, you know, the low-tech customers would have bought that Cake product from high-tech, which is a high-tech product, but they did not know about it. So it means whatever you are gonna produce are gonna be sold at almost any price as long as the customers are aware of it, which is a rare case. I mean, it could happen in complex exam, but during later phases. So in complex, just use that method. So let's say, what is the sum of these two numbers? It's gonna be like 2000, and then that leaves the rest for your company like this. Okay, so that's the supply for the units in demand for round one, this number, and then you're gonna say your share, Abel's share, is gonna be this number, which is here, equals that minus the sum of, you know, your competition numbers. Well, that's very unrealistic. It's actually real, but you can't produce that much. However, that's why there's a shortage, and that's why low-tech people are buying a high-tech product that got 0 customer survey score, not because they want to, but because they have to, although they also don't have good awareness of it. Here, what you're going to consider, there might be, you know, other products. For example, let's make it more realistic. Here it's going to be not only Baker, let's say Cake. There's only another product. There's also another product which is Blue, for example, here. So for example, Blue is gonna sell, let's say 1,000. Then the sum is gonna be taken into consideration. We're gonna sum these two, and that number is gonna decrease, and that's the likely case scenario, because it's not only gonna be 2 products, it's gonna be actually 3 competing companies. Each company is gonna have multiple products, so you want to include every product, set your own assumptions, and then you know, get the result here. So here we understand that the sales forecast that we used, let's just do this really quick. All right, so this is my number. That's what I expect to sell. However, unfortunately, I can't produce that much. You can put that number here. Well, you can actually sell that much, but you can't produce that much. So what I'm saying is, you can put that number in marketing, but you can't match it with the production, which is going to cause unrealistic and overestimating your sales forecast. So here, let's increase the price because we want to decrease the demand. Actually, I'll prove to you that, you know, I said this number. It's like at any point, you know, there's going to be shortage in supply. So you want to increase the price. You can make it within the price range, which is 35. And you can, you know, put that here because you increase the price. Let's go to Excel again, and let's say the price increased, because you can just say like minus 10%. All right, and then you calculate these and put them here. I don't want to complicate you guys. If you think that method is not making any sense, it's fine, but you need to understand the logic behind it. So I expect go down sales. However, using this method, I know that no matter what I supply at any price, it's gonna be sold, because there is a shortage in supply for low-tech products. So I can even set that number unrealistically high. Let's say 38, or actually even, okay, 38 is fine, maybe 39, even 40, it's gonna be sold. That's what I expect. And now after we're done with the sales forecast, and we put the sales forecast, the maximum amount we can produce, which is, let's see, what is the maximum amount that we can produce. Well, remember that this is not a likely scenario. Like, this is not the likely scenario in the complex, because there's not going to be shortage in production. All right, here's what's going to happen. You're going to produce that much, and you are guaranteed to sell that much. So you're going to put that number here. Remember, that's not always the case, and remember that the number is going to be less than that. Anyway, so we put that here, and that's what happened. All right, let's just do this 1782 and just recalculate. All right, now we're done with the sales forecast. You understand it should have been higher. It could have been this number here, but it's not realistic because the market share, this number is going to be lower in case of more products. You need to remember that. And here this number is going to be like that much because in case of more products it's gonna decrease, but here realistically we don't have blue, so you're guaranteed to sell like this much if you could, but you can't because of your production investment. Moving to the next important thing, which is promo budget. Promo budget, there is a very good trick to doing that. First of all, you understand that there is a limited people who are going to buy your product, and you know how many they are going to be. In round 1 they're going to be that many, round 2 that many, round 3 that many, and for this much. And then the reason I'm saying that is because I'm telling you that if you, for example, invest 10 million, what is that, 10 million, yes, in marketing, promo budget, what this means is you are guaranteed to have 100% awareness, okay? So like 50 million would be 100% awareness. But what you want to do is have 100% awareness with the least spending on promo budget. So what you do here is set a maximum number, let it be 50 million, 10 million. So 10 million is really high. It guarantees you 100% awareness. And how do you know if you are at 100% awareness? It's through this number. So at 10 million, this means at infinite amount of money, like I spent so much money, this number increased, okay? So that's the maximum number of units I can sell at 100% awareness, holding other factors constant. So if I increase the awareness, this is going to be the maximum number that I'm going to be selling. This means at 100%, I'm going to be at 100% awareness, I'm going to be selling that much. So it's like if I spend 10 millions, if I spend infinite millions, I'm gonna have this number at 100% awareness. But I don't want to spend 10 millions. I want to spend the least number of millions that I can in order to while maintaining 100%. So let's say 3 million now. I keep decreasing, okay? So if that number changes, it means I'm no longer at 100%. So you keep decreasing till you are no longer at 100%. So if it changes from 1198, let's say 1500. Okay, it's not 1198. All right, so it means it has to be somewhere between 1500 and 2000. All right, so it's not that. Let's say this much. And that's the thing, that's why it's called a game, because you gotta keep trying, and then eventually we're gonna get to the optimum number. Okay, this seems good. You might want to decrease a little, it's up to you if you want to be that super efficient. Alright, it seems fine. You can probably decrease it even more, but I won't go for more because that seems to be a good number. So actually I'm gonna do that just for the sake of, just getting the point through. Okay, literally, like, if I decrease it, then it's no longer 100%. Like if I decrease by this much, okay, see, this means that this is the ideal like spending on promo budget that I can have on product able. And then you might want to increase the sales budget. However, if you have to choose for new launched product, you might not want to get to 100% from the first time. You might just make it like 2000, 2500, something like that on promo, which is not going to be 100%, but at the same time you can max it, means 100% during the next round. So we're done here, and the sales budget, always keep it in range between 1500 and like 3000 for any product. Should be good. I'm not going to talk so much about sales budget, and that's it and the price is going to be dependent on your competition. By the way, this case, because we have a special scenario, which is you are producing the maximum amount and you are guaranteed to sell it because of the shortage of supply. In other cases, it's going to be more complex because the price is going to be, you want to be in low tech product, you want to be kind of like the same as your competitors, maybe a little bit higher or lower, but you want to make your product appealing, so the price is not going to be always that much. But because we can make the price that much, we did due to the, as I said, shortage in supply. I can actually finally increase that a little bit, maybe this much. It's not necessary actually, just for better customer survey score. You're gonna notice that the number increased. All right, I think we're fine. Don't care about the benchmark prediction. It's low because of the price. It's very high. You don't really care about it because we already did our own sales forecast. And thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully, just understand that you're gonna do that for each product, and the sales forecast is gonna be a little bit more complex. If you have any questions, just write them down and ask me tomorrow. All right. Good luck.